Hey guys, today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do the history of two characters from SpongeBob SquarePants. We got Patrick and SpongeBob's pen snail, Gary. Let's start with Gary.
Of Gary the Snail. We begin once again at the dawn of time. Meet prehistoric Gary. He looks almost identical to the present-day Gary, but he's much, much larger. The only real differences are that prehistoric Gary has large spikes coming from his shell and tail. Prehistoric Gary also has a bushy black unibrow. Prehistoric Gary likes messing with Squab, just like how Gary likes messing with Squidward. After prehistoric Gary, things start to get a little intense, so bear with me here.
What I hold in my hands is a family tree that goes back centuries. It starts with the marriage of King Amoeba and Queen Mildew.
Gary's great-great-grandparents were royalty, King Amoeba and Queen Mildew. The king and queen have two children, Princess Tulsa and Prince Callus. Prince Callus marries Prince Dingus, and they have a son, Carl. Princess Tulsa marries the jester Yorick, and they have a daughter, Maltucket. Maltucket marries Billy Bob, and they have two sons, Sluggo and Herb. Herb marries Margie, and they become parents to none other than Patrick Star, making Patrick and Gary cousins. Woo! Yes, if you didn't know already, Patrick and Gary are actually cousins.
What's with Gary? Sounds like a motorboat.
That's just the snail's way of saying he likes you.
Tickles.
Patrick's dad and Gary's dad are brothers. Speaking of Gary's dad, here he is, Sluggo Star. He's a small purple slug with a light green underside. Sluggo meets Mama Gary, who we've never caught a glimpse of, but we can deduce she would have looked something like this. And voila, Gary is born. And did you know his full name is actually Gerald Wilson Jr.?
Gerald, it is not nice to ignore new friends. Gary Wilson Jr. I promise you we will get you more treats tomorrow.
Gary is always by SpongeBob's side.
Gary will never find me here. Uh-oh. Tag! Now I'm it.
He has a pink shell with purple spots and a red spiral. He's got handsome eyes, and the sides of his body are light blue, and his belly is green. If you look under Gary's shell, who knows what you'll find? It could be a diamond, a pair of legs, or a record player. Oh, turn it up, Gary. This one slaps.
Want to learn how to tie your shoe? It's a very easy thing to do.
Since Gary is a descendant of King Amoeba and Queen Mildew, he isn't just in the royal family. He is the one true king of Bikini Bottom.
Well, would you look at that? Gary, you're royalty. Molly?
Being a snail, Gary is only able to communicate by saying,
Ow! I know that meow. That says I'm hungry. Lucky for you, I speak fluent snail.
man, wouldn't it be so much easier if Gary could talk and just tell us about his family tree?
Check, check. 1, 2. Ah, that's more like it. Hello there, Papa Bob.
There are several instances where SpongeBob adopts new pets, so it's safe to call these Gary's siblings, right? There was Larry.
Hey, Larry! Want to hear a joke? Oh, Gary used to love this one. What do you call a snail on a ship? A snailer! Bah! Bah! Don't you get it, Larry? A snailer.
Jerry, and don't forget Rex.
Sit, Rex, sit. Roll over, Rex. Roll over. Now stay, Rex, stay. Good boy, Rex. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Gary also has some ladies in his life. After all, he is such a romantic poet.
Meow, meow, meow. He has such a way with words.
There's Snelly.
Gary? Oh.
My, oh my. Folks, I have never seen
anything quite like this. It seems Snelly, the leader, just went back to comfort Gary. Looks like you and I are in-laws, eh, Squidward?
And married. Gary has a daughter, sort of? Alice is a creature made entirely out of Gary's snail slime. This makes Alice Patrick's cousin once removed. Alice finds a loving partner in Marvin, Bikini Bottom's very own animal control officer. What a lovely couple. And look who attended the wedding. Well, there you have it, folks. The Gary family tree. Join us next time as we discover the interesting ancestry in yet another chapter of Nickelodeon history on Nick Family Tree.
Thanks for the info, Gary. I'm going back to my own dream now.
Beware of your wandering eye. Today we look at the history...
No, not Plankton. Let's do Patrick.
Today we look at the history of Patrick Star.
Who are you people?
Better do that. I'll put that quiet. There we go. Sorry about that. I just need a peace and quiet so you can hear it. Anyways, let's watch. Did you listen to Gary? Well, listen to Patrick now.
To truly appreciate the Star family tree, we need to go back in time approximately 546 million years during the Precambrian period. Meet Primitive Star, the earliest known member of the Star family. Do note the sharp white tusks and deep blue gums that separate him from the Patrick Star we know today.
Hideous.
Primitive Star's survival was due largely in part to his tolerance for pain.
It's called jellyfishing.
Learning nothing, Primitive Star also enjoyed the act of jellyfishing.
Who's the barnacle head who invented that game anyway?
You are, Squidward.
Moving along further up the coral of life,
Much later.
more than 530 million years have passed, and we arrive at Patar, the next evolution in the Star lineage.
Hatar!
Often confused with Primitive Star, Patar shares an eerily similar personality to his ancient ancestor. In fact, there's nothing more Patar enjoys than eating. This includes cloth, slime, wood, even Mr. Krabs' ancestors.
You took my only food! Now I'm gonna starve!
Now we travel even further up the tree, another 10 million years or so, to one of the more famous members of the Star family,
Wow, Patrick. I didn't know you had a famous relative.
Patrick Revere.
He rode through the streets, warning Bikini Bottom of the coming hordes of ravenous, man-eating mollusks. The mollusks are coming! The mollusks are coming!
Of course, no one actually believed him.
What beeth the deal with ye old nutcase?
Best part about it is, I don't have to accomplish anything in life, because my uncle already did it for me.
Next, we fast forward to the dangerous land of Deadeye Gulch,
What brings you to Deadeye Gulch, stranger? Strange is right.
home to Pecos Patrick Star.
That's me!
Despite successfully learning a language, the intelligence of this sea star had not evolved much compared to his ancient ancestors.
Why are you all standing in your pajamas? No, don't tell me. Oh, I know! You're throwing a slumber party. Pilified! He's a-coming! Deadeye's a-coming!
Deadeye! He had a natural enemy in Deadeye Plankton, the pest of the West.
Oh, again.
And a close friend in Spongebob SquarePants.
Up on, buddy.
Thanks, idiot friend.
Things get a little slimy in this next era of the Star family.
Ew, we're all covered in slime.
Patrick's great-great-grandparents are none other than the Royal Queen Mildew and King Amoeba. Royalty to what? None other than Bikini Bottom.
What I hold in my hands is a family tree that goes back centuries. It starts with the marriage of King Amoeba and Queen Mildew. Then, through a few inbred generations, ends at you, Sir Patrick.
The king and queen had two children. The first, Princess Tulsa. She married the court jester, Yorick, a skill that's surely passed on to our modern Patrick Star.
You're welcome.
The other child, a son named Prince Callus, appears to be some kind of dolphin.
Hey, how about this?
Awesome!
Perhaps Patrick did inherit some dolphin after all. Prince Callus married Prince Dingus. Together, they had a son, Carl. Of interesting note is that Carl is the first and only member of the Star family tree to not have children. This is where his branch ends.
But I don't want it to end!
Now, the coral tree does continue with Patrick's great-uncle Cletus.
I'll never forget what my great-uncle Cletus said right before he was arrested during a freedom march.
What was that?
It's where a bunch of people go walking down the street and...
I know what a freedom march is, Patrick. I mean, what did he say?
Oh, he said, "Let not your heart walk away from you, lest your mind grow legs and follow it."
Wow, your uncle sounds like a pretty smart guy, Patrick. What happened to him after he was arrested?
I don't know. He was never heard from again.
Next, meet Patrick's grandmother, Ma Tuckett, daughter of Princess Tulsa.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to let you in on a little family secret. Old Grandma suffered from severe toe barnacles.
Ah!
She married Billy Bob Star, a descendant of Pecos Patrick, and thus the Star surname makes its way back into our family tree. Ma and Billy Bob had two sons. The first, Herbert Star. Herb married Margie, and together they became Patrick's parents.
Wow, son! You actually recognized us this time. And you remembered to get dressed today.
Of course, they are not to be confused with Janet and Marty, who Patrick believed to be his parents.
Janet? Marty? How are you people? Oh, that's right, honey. We don't have a son.
Oh, yeah.
And this, of course, brings us to the star of the Star family, Patrick. Just don't think about giving Patrick any nicknames.
My name's not Rick!
Going through his lineage, it's easy to see how Patrick adopted many of the traits from his ancestors. Playful,
Does this look dangerous?
hungry,
Observe how the hungry sea star ejects his own stomach from his body in order to eat his meal.
loving,
I love you.
and of course, how does one say this?
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
I call that cursing, and this isn't anything from his ancestors. That's so cursing.
But the coral tree does not stop at Patrick. He has a sister, Sam Star.
Wow! I didn't know you had a sister.
Nobody does.
Although Patrick has claimed to not have a sister.
Oh my gosh, if my sister finds out, I mean, I don't have a sister.
This is coming from the very same sea star that can't remember his own parents.
Rubber!
Zeus!
It's so good to see you.
Samantha is a much more aggressive sea star. She adopted more primal characteristics from Primitive Star and Patar.
Make Sister Sam mad.
Reckless as she is, Sam Star has zero tolerance for meanies.
Meanies, go home.
Just make sure to avoid eye contact with her fingernails.
Fingernails.
I can't watch!
Ma and Billy Bob had
Oh,
two sons.
good.
The second is quite a shocker. Meet
Oh well,
Star,
it's past.
father to none other than Gary.
What?
This reveals two very interesting twists in the Star family tree. The first being that Patrick and Gary are actually cousins.
Gary? I thought what we had was special!
And secondly, Sluggo was the firstborn son of Ma, making Gary the true and rightful king of Bikini Bottom.
Well, would you look at that? Gary, you're royalty. Mo?
Gary, best known for being SpongeBob's pet snail and a world-renowned poet,
Meow, meow, meow. He has such a way with words.
he is also responsible for the creation of Alice Wilson, a female made entirely out of his own slime.
is beautiful.
What a marvelously mucky creation. Alice found a loving partner in Marvin, Bikini Bottom's very own animal control officer. What a lovely couple. This makes Alice Patrick's cousin once removed.
Oh.
And explains why he attended the wedding.
Welcome to the future.
Now we must venture deep into the future, to the year 4017, to meet Patrick's great. Okay, enough of that. Meet Patron.
Somebody say jellyfishing?
Hi, Patron.
Patron fully resembles his ancestor Patrick, the only difference being his two heads and his ability to teleport. And there you have the entire Star Family tree.
We
Join
forgot
us
it.
next time as we discover the interesting ancestry in yet another fascinating chapter of Nickelodeon's history on Nick Family Tree.
He's Squidward, you're Squidward, I'm Squidward! Are there any other Squidwards I should know about? Meow.
Okay. So thanks for watching. Please like the video or dislike. Subscribe, hit the bell, and comment down if you want. It doesn't matter if you don't or do anything. Do anything with the like, the comments, and subscribe. Whatever. You can watch any more of my videos by clicking on where it says J. That means Juan Bello. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video.